Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautifully chaotic day in the soposphere, and we are diving straight into the deep end of the drama. Grab your coffee and strap in. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Unbelievable. Guys, what's going on here? It is literally 3 a.m. My eyes are burning from staring at the editing timeline for 10 hours straight, and I just hit record because my brain is melting. I am severely sleep deprived, running on nothing but stale coffee and pure, unadulterated psychic damage. Might delete this later, but I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. Look, I have been covering this show for a decade, and I have seen some wild, lore-shattering moments, but what just went down at the Newman Ranch has officially pushed me over the edge. I am ditching the script. I am breaking all the filters. We are going raw, unedited, and completely feral today because basically the writers just dropped a nuclear bomb on Genoa City, and honestly, I am spiraling. Listen, we need to set the stage before we talk about the main event because the context makes this so much more insane. Basically, Victor Newman has been on the ultimate power trip lately. He just regained Newman Enterprises, which is a major flex, obviously. He is playing God with everyone's lives. He literally just honored his deal and handed Chancellor over to Lily Winters like it was a party favor. Lily is out here living her best life, ecstatic, running to society to tell Kane Ashby that he's going to run the company for her. Victor is acting like the untouchable puppet master. He has Matt held captive at the ranch, forcing him to take showers and change clothes like some bizarre psychological experiment, telling Nick that he's going to crush Matt if he doesn't pass his little sincerity test. Nick is standing there whining about Nikki's feelings regarding the Chancellor deal, and Victor is just brushing him off because Victor thinks he is invincible. The mustache is at peak arrogance. He is untouchable. The security at the ranch is supposedly impenetrable, and then suddenly everything goes completely off the rails. Diane unexpectedly escapes. Yes, Diane. We knew she was backed into a corner. We knew things were getting desperate, but honestly, nobody saw this exact sequence of events playing out. Look, Diane is a survivor. She is a cockroach in designer heels, but what she does next is a total game changer. She doesn't outsmart Victor in a boardroom. She doesn't blackmail him with a USB drive full of offshore bank accounts. She doesn't use her feminine wiles or manipulate a CEO. Basically, she grabs a stick, a literal physical stick, and she whacks the great Victor Newman over the head with it. I need to scream. She hit him with a stick. Victor Newman, the billionaire titan of industry, knocked out cold by a piece of wood. Honestly, I am losing my mind. The sheer, unmitigated disrespect of this moment is sending me into orbit. Victor is standing there, probably monologuing in that gravelly voice of his, probably talking about, "You got that?" and plotting his next move to destroy his enemies. And suddenly, bam, Diane goes full primal on him. It's not a masterstroke of corporate espionage. It's blunt force trauma with a branch. This is absolute terminal velocity energy. My jaw physically unhinged and hit the floor. I had to rewind the footage 5 times because I thought my sleep-deprived brain was hallucinating. Did Diane just cave in the Newman patriarch's skull with a piece of landscaping? Wait, why are we like this? Why am I so obsessed with this? I think it's because it strips away all the billions of dollars and the fancy suits. At the end of the day, Victor Newman is just a guy who can get laid out by a desperate woman wielding a heavy piece of timber. It's a low-key obsession of mine when these ultra-rich, untouchable characters are brought down by the most primitive, basic means possible. Diane didn't need a hostile takeover. She needed a good swing. Whoa, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. So Diane hits him. Victor drops like a sack of potatoes. He is out cold on the floor of the ranch. The same ranch where he is supposedly running this high-level psychological torture test on Matt. And then Diane just escapes. She flees the scene. She makes a run for it, leaving the most powerful man in Genoa City taking an unscheduled nap on the rug. Honestly, the psychological fallout of this is going to be biblical. When Victor wakes up, his ego is going to be so fractured, so utterly shattered, that he is going to scorch the earth. You do not just hit Victor Newman with a stick and walk away. He is going to unleash the hounds of hell. But wait, let me contradict myself for a second. Actually, what if Victor let her hit him? What if this is part of some 4D chess move? No, that's insane. That's the sleep deprivation talking. Nobody willingly takes a wooden club to the cranium just to prove a point. Victor was genuinely caught slipping. He underestimated Diane's sheer feral will to survive. He thought he had all the pieces on the board perfectly arranged. He thought he was dealing with corporate pawns, but Diane flipped the board and smashed it over his head. Listen, we have to talk about Diane's mindset here. This woman has faked her own death. She has hidden in plain sight. She has clawed her way back into the Abbott family, marrying Jack, securing her power base. But underneath all that silken pearls, she is a street fighter. When she is cornered, she doesn't cry, she swings. This was pure fight or flight, and she chose to fight. The adrenaline must have been pumping through her veins like battery acid. I can just picture her breathing heavily, gripping that impromptu weapon, staring down the man who has tormented her and so many others for decades. It's honestly iconic. It is a major flex. She didn't just escape. She made a statement. And what about Nick? Nick was literally just there, questioning Victor's bizarre treatment of Matt. Nick is already frustrated, already confused by his father's actions. Imagine Nick walking back into that room. He expects to find Victor gloating, and instead, he finds the mustache spread eagle on the floor with a lump on his head and a stray twig next to him. The absolute chaos, the panic. Will Nick call an ambulance? Or will he just stand there for a solid minute processing the fact that someone finally shut his father up, even if only temporarily? Honestly, Nick has been carrying so much emotional baggage regarding Nikki and Lily and the whole Chancellor handover. This might just short-circuit his brain too. Basically, the dynamics of Genoa City are forever altered. Diane is now a fugitive on the run, armed with nothing but her wits and apparently a penchant for blunt weapons. Victor is going to wake up with a concussion and a thirst for vengeance that will make his past vendettas look like child's play. And I am sitting here in the dark, my camera rolling, dumping my unedited psychic damage onto the digital hive mind because I need you guys to witness my existential collapse. We are in uncharted territory. The writers have completely abandoned the traditional soap opera playbook and have entered the survival horror genre. Look, I don't know how Diane plans to survive the fallout. Victor has the police. He has private security. He has endless resources. But if she can take him down with a stick, maybe she has a chance. Maybe she is the apex predator now. All I know is that I am strapped in for this ride and I am not sleeping until we find out where she is hiding. This is the kind of raw, unfiltered drama that keeps us hooked for decades. It's messy, it's chaotic, and it is absolutely glorious. Please, flood the comments, tell me your theories, tell me how Victor is going to explain this to Nikki, because I literally cannot process this alone. I need my legacy stands to help me carry this burden. We are witnessing history, people. Stick-wielding history. Let's think about Sharon and Phyllis for a second, just to put this in perspective. While Diane is out here playing whack-a-mole with Victor's head, Phyllis is currently spiraling at society. Phyllis was forced out of Newman Enterprises, and she just had a brutal rejection from Daniel. Daniel basically told her she hasn't learned anything and is just playing the victim. Sharon had to step in, acting as the voice of reason, telling Phyllis she needs to fight back and regain control. Imagine when Phyllis hears about Diane. Phyllis, Diane's ultimate rival, the woman who has hated Diane for decades. Phyllis is sitting there crying over losing her corporate job and her son's love, while her arch nemesis Diane is out here literally bludgeoning Victor Newman and escaping captivity like an action hero. Honestly, that is going to break Phyllis's brain even more than it's breaking mine. Phyllis is going to be so jealous of Diane's sheer audacity. It's going to trigger a whole new level of unhinged behavior from Phyllis because she cannot let Diane outdo her in the causing absolute chaos department. And what about Noah and Audra? Noah is hyping up the grand reopening of the Shadow Room online, completely oblivious to the fact that the grandfather who funded his entire existence is currently unconscious on the ranch floor. Audra is plotting to attend the club opening, ignoring Holden's warnings about Sienna Bacall, trying to navigate her lingering obsession with Noah. All these people are just going about their petty, dramatic lives, sipping coffee at Crimson Lights, completely unaware that the tectonic plates of Genoa City have just violently shifted. The juxtaposition is honestly wild. You have Lily and Kane celebrating a corporate victory, basking in the glow of Chancellor, while halfway across town, the man who gave them that company is getting laid out by a rogue Diane. It's poetry. It's absolute, unhinged poetry. Listen, the more I talk about it, the more I realize this is the exact kind of narrative, betrayal, and transcendent hype I live for. We spend years watching these characters talk in circles in boardrooms, and then suddenly, boom, physical comedy and brutal survival instincts take over. I am physically shaking. The adrenaline crash is going to be severe. I need to know what kind of stick it was. Was it oak, mahogany, a piece of a broken chair, a literal branch from the Newman stables? These are the details that matter. Basically, I am going to be obsessively refreshing my feeds for the next 48 hours. If Victor tries to cover this up and claims he fell, I am going to riot. We all know the truth. We all know Diane holds the title belt now. Okay, I'm cutting the feed before I start hallucinating. Drop your thoughts below, stay restless, and I will see you guys when the dust settles.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.